Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, May 8th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also for you Bitcoin traders out there, I will do a bonus Bitcoin analysis at the end. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing because that's because the market is still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, REBN. Quite the mover today, and now quite the pullback, but within the pullback, it gives us the ability to draw a trend line here that I think a lot of people have drawn. So as I draw that line in there, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that's a great skill or a special discovery. The exact opposite. I think a lot of people have done that. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same level and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So while there is no such thing as a guarantee, is it valid? Is it plausible that the price comes up here and breaks through that level, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly, at least in my opinion, a plausible scenario. On the flip side of things, in terms of areas of support, get that level right there, change that to green to represent support. And now essentially we have an overall pattern here. Let's keep it the same color to make it easier to see. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big explosion right here. For you golfers out there, try to make it more visual. Put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So if you like stocks down below $5, you like bull pennants, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, SGD, and same general idea of what I just talked about here. Got to think that several people are keeping an eye on that general area right there as an area of resistance. And then instead of drawing a trend line here, what I'm going to use is that purple line there, the 50-period moving average, as the trend line. So again, it's not technically a trend line, it's a moving average, but this is a moving average, so it'll continue to move and look something like this moving forward. And that in and of itself gives us our pattern. So let's make it one color again. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big move up right here. And technically this would be more of a bull flag pattern, but bull flag, bull pennant, no need to get in a fist fight about which one it is, because at the end of the day, it's just conveying a story. And the story is this: big explosion up, now a bit of consolidation, which brings about the question mark, is the consolidation going to continue on with the trend and get to the break to the upside? So if you like penny stocks, you like bull flag patterns, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, MULN. I don't mean to go through these quickly, but I guess I sort of do because you've just heard me talk about this already, and I want to respect your time as much as possible. So once again, we have an area of resistance. This should all start to look very familiar and sound very familiar. We have an area of support, and then to keep it the same color, that was pretty terrible. We have our resistance. We have our support. We have the big move up here. We have the golf hole down here. Another bull pennant pattern. So if you like the bull pennants, you like the bull flags, as you're seeing right now, a good variety here to go into Thursday. Next one, MARA. This will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched your previous videos, but if you have, you know that we've been tracking this trend line here, and I'm going to go ahead and extend this level out because it's looking like right now it's potentially getting ready to have battle on Thursday. Yes, there's still a little bit of work that needs to be done, but when you stop and think about it, today opened up down here. So the price had to travel all the way up here just to do battle. You can compare it with where it is now. It's only got to travel that distance. So does that mean for sure battle is going to occur? No, there are no guarantees. But does it seem a whole lot more plausible than when the price opened up down here? Yeah, of course. Now, does the price break up through that level? How big of a break, if it does, occurs? Those are the exciting and interesting questions to be asked moving forward. But in my mind, that's what all eyes probably going to be watching. That trend line there, very similar. So like I said earlier, whether you want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy or whatever, it's valid to think that if the price can break through that level, that could generate additional upwards buying pressure. Next one here, AMC, and just a whole lot of choppiness back and forth. But within the choppiness, I think the buyers have revealed their favorite spot, and that is down here at basically $3.06. So that is certainly going to be a key area of support. Going through the history of things, you can see right there, acted as support, acted as support, acted as support. So if the price were to come back down here, is it a guarantee that it'll bounce up from that area? Of course not. But given it's happened once, twice, 3 times before, nobody could call you crazy for thinking, you know what? Is it going to do it for the 4th time? Again, by no means some sort of random thought process on your end. Doesn't mean it'll work. That's why risk management matters, but it's certainly not anything random on your end. In terms of areas of resistance, main area of resistance that's standing out to me. That trend line there, give or take a little bit, I think that's a very interesting level, so keep a close eye on that. But all things considered, it's hanging in there. 306 doing a great job holding that support, so let's see if that can remain the case over the next couple of days. Real quick, want to take a quick break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to sign up. Or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the page you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar. Next one, INOD, and quite the impressive chart, especially this afternoon. A little bit of a pullback here, but you can see got the break of that pullback, and then from there has basically grinded higher and higher. And as I speak right now, you can see that candle is almost at the all-time highs from the day. And that in and of itself is reason to put something on a watch list. Meaning, now watch list does not mean you run out and just randomly buy stuff, but it's something that is interesting, something that catches your eye. And for me, these things catch my eyes. I mean, huge volume explosion today, slow and steady grind. So you don't want to chase the price. So where could potential pullback areas be? And an interesting pullback area that I think stands out right here at $9.75. So keep an eye on that. And then as in terms of areas of resistance, not a whole lot can be said. You might just need to wait for some sort of a pattern to form. So for example, and I have no idea if this will happen, but if this thing pulls back to right around there, well, what would you have at that point in time? You'd have a bit of a downwards channel, but you'd also have the nice move up. So you'd essentially have a bull flag pattern. But as of right now, you can't really say a whole lot from the upside because, and it's a good problem to have, because as you can see right now, it has not been up this high for a very, very long time. So in some senses, it's just in blue sky breakout territory. But if you just simply like high volume, good solid price movement, then that in and of itself, and throw in there the price range down below the $10 mark, it might be worth keeping an eye on for Thursday. Next one, TSLA Tesla, and very brutal day today. Not necessarily because it was red, but because the price had been doing a good job of just maintaining this sideways channel. But today it did break through the downside of it. Now the good news is the price is still above that pink line there, the 200 period moving average, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But that's sort of the general context. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of that level up there as it served its purpose for now. First key update comes about based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So if this bounce right now, so to give credit where credit's due, from where it was at its lows to where it is right now, good solid bounce. But if this bounce continues, that'll be the main battleground, main question mark. Will the price have enough strength to push up there through 177.25? So keep a close eye on that if the bounce continues. If the price does come back down, then yeah, I would definitely say a very important must-hold level is going to be that pink line down there, 200 period moving average. Preferably speaking, if the price could at minimum stay above that level at 172 would be great. But like I said, I wouldn't call that a must-hold level. I would call that 200 period moving average, though, a must-hold level. Next one here, PLTR. Downwards pressure continues, and I'm going to have to make an adjustment, and the key dynamic here is what direction is this adjustment being made. So now that we have more data, got to adjust this area of support down here to 2105, and not to insult your intelligence, but you saw me make that adjustment in the downwards direction. And assuming you're bullish, that's not a good sign when levels of support need to be adjusted in the downwards direction. So 2105, key area of support. And then in terms of areas of resistance, got an interesting level right there as a potential warning sign of maybe more strength to come. But also, to be fair, even if the price does break through that resistance trend line right there, I wouldn't get too excited because not that far away, you then have the 200 period moving average, which could very realistically serve as the key and true area of resistance. Of course, not guaranteed, but like I said, a break of that trend line, that is a good thing. Just don't get overly excited about it because you then still have to worry about doing battle with that 200 period moving average. But yeah, rough looking one here for PLTR. Next one, LAZR, and a tricky one to talk about because it's all about perspective. I mean, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought right there, maybe you bought the dip right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 20 minutes. From that perspective, the chart's looking really, really rough because there's no doubt about it. There has been a downwards channel that has formed. With that being said, if you care about the bigger picture point of view, well, part of the bigger picture is acknowledging, sure, there was a downwards channel. There's been a pullback. However, also is, well, what was happening before this downwards channel? And what was happening before was this big old explosion right here, which is now giving me the ability to draw a bull flag pattern. Once again, I'm well aware that if you're some sort of day trader and you bought up around here, you don't care about the bull flag pattern. I'm just trying to distinguish between more so a day trader and somebody that cares about the bigger picture point of view. So if you do care about the bigger picture point of view, even with the pullback, you still have the bull flag pattern. And if you just like bull flags in general, then I definitely keep an eye on this one here for Thursday. Next one, TQQQ. Overall, not a whole lot to point out, although I will say that very impressive recovery. This one started off down here, pretty nasty gap up, but came all the way back up here and all the way, more specifically getting up above that area of support right there, which is a good sign. And then it has maintained above it, so that explosion did not continue. It's pulled back a little bit, but still, all things considered, it's maintaining the key areas of support. That first one I already talked about, 57.88-ish. And then the other one right there, that purple line, which is the moving average. And you can see the moving average, given its nature, has moved up above the green line. So at this point in time, that purple line actually now takes a higher priority over the green line right there. So just something to note right in that regard. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing new here to report. Still got to think all eyes watching that 59.20 mark. If you wanted to get a little spicy with things, you could throw in a resistance trend line right there. In fact, let's just make it a little bit different to have it stand out a little bit. So there we go. So another choice right there if you want to try to maybe anticipate some sort of movement up to 59.20, if not through it. But like I said, how things started to how things ended, good solid day. Now, I will get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool, then definitely go get signed up for the free webinar. It'll be very soon, Thursday, May 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So go get signed up. Now let's talk some Bitcoin. First off, for clarification, we are now looking at the 4-hour time frame. I mean, each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours and no longer 30 minutes. And I like to do that just because Bitcoin's open 24/7, and that'll allow this analysis to remain relevant for as long as possible. So right now, consolidation still the name of the game. And I'm just going to assume that you're watching this video, let's say 15, 20 hours from now. So question number one I want you to ask yourself is, where is the price at relative to that purple line there, the 50-period moving average? If you're saying, well, Clay, the price is still up above it, that's good. Next question would be, okay, well, where's the price at relative to the 200-period moving average? If you're answering the question that the price is also up above there, that's telling you that Bitcoin has had a very, very impressive move, because that would imply that this has stopped going down. This sideways action has led for it to not only come all the way up there, but broken through there. So you can see how that would be implying, all right, when you're watching this video, Bitcoin is doing very, very well for itself. But if you're answering that first question, well, Clay, actually the price is down below the 50-period moving average. Next immediate question is, okay, well, where's the price at relative to 59,660? If you're answering the question that the price is down below there, then that's where things become very, very sketchy, because now you're all of a sudden, the price is entering back into this former area right here, and you don't want to, assuming you're bullish, of course, you don't want to see the price going back to where it was. But maybe you're just saying, well, Clay, the price is still above purple line, but it's still down below here. Well, then the word that I started off with still applies. It's just simply consolidation. So those will be the questions that'll keep you up to date in terms of where Bitcoin stands. So walk yourself through those questions and you'll have the best current idea. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader, get signed up for this free webinar, because what you learn about can and definitely should be used within the world of crypto and Bitcoin also. So it'll be, like I said, very soon, Thursday, May 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Go get signed up. If you enjoy these live trade videos, hit that like button, leave a comment below. Or if you have a request, if you would like for me to take a look at a chart, leave that down below and I'll do my best to get to that. So go get signed up for that free class. Hit that like button, leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching.